What's up, y'all? It's your boy Caaaap with another video back at Renaissance. So, Kanye West is back with another Twitter rant. And this time, his Twitter rant is directed to masters and artists owning their masters and how record labels are evil and how record labels manipulate and etc. etc. This is not a, it's like a brand new idea. Like, people have been talking about the importance of owning your masters and all that for a long time. Prince writing slave on his face. Jay-Z says it pretty often in his raps. Lauryn Hill, Michael Jackson, the list goes on. So this is not a new idea, but Kanye's tweets have been getting a lot of attention. One reason that is because he did it in a very Kanye way, very loud, very over the top, very dramatic. So it's getting a lot of attention. So, and it brought a lot of attention for different reasons. So one reason it got a lot of attention is because Kanye decided to screenshot his contracts and put them on Twitter. So he screenshotted at least like 18 pages worth of contracts from Universal and Def Jam, and one screenshot from his contract in particular got some attention. So one of those was a screenshot from the Rockefeller Def Jam sale. And somebody on Twitter quoted that and said that if you look at the contract, you will see that Jay-Z sold Kanye West's masters back to Def Jam in exchange for his. And of course, with anything that, paints Jay-Z in a negative light these days, it went viral and people hopped on it. Jay-Z is a snake. Jay-Z's this. Jay-Z's that. And it's not true. It's simply not true. Okay, let's backtrack and let's look at the Rockefeller Def Jam deal. So initially, Jay-Z only wanted to retain the rights to Reasonable Doubt, his debut album. So him, Dame Dash, Biggs Burke, they came to the end of their run as the Rockefeller CEOs, and they were, going their separate ways. So Jay-Z was like, all I want is Reasonable Doubt. Y'all can have the masters to every other one of my recordings up to that point. You can keep the money. You can do all this. All I want is Reasonable Doubt. So his request was denied. They did not want to take that deal. So he ended up doing what I think any businessman would do and just say, okay, well, we'll sell our stake in Rockefeller to Def Jam. And he became president of Def Jam. And through him being president, he was able to retain the rights to his masters. So people are making it seem like it was like this shady thing going on. And it really wasn't. It was not shady at all. If you look at it, and if Jay-Z, people say Jay-Z sold Kanye. If Jay-Z did that, then Dame Dash and Kareem Biggs Burke is guilty of it too, because all three of them were a part of the Def Jam sale. So it just wasn't Kanye West's albums that was a part of that deal. It was everybody that was under Rockefeller. Everybody under Rockefeller, Beanie Siegel, Freeway, Kanye, Emil, anybody that was under that roster was a part of that deal. It just wasn't singling out Kanye West. And I want you guys to think about this. Tell me if this makes sense. So how could Jay-Z leverage one album? And what I mean by that is, if you look at the date of the contract, it says 2005. So up to that point, Kanye had one album, which is his debut album, College Dropout, which had Jesus Walks, All Falls Down, classic album, great album. So how could Jay-Z walk into Def Jam offices and be like, look, give me this catalog I have from 1996 to 2003 at that point. And in that time frame, you have Reasonable Doubt, Classic Volume 1, a couple of songs away from me, and Classic Volume 2, Classic Volume 3. You have the Blueprint, Classic Blueprint 2. You know what I mean? You have the Black Album, Classic Dynasty album. So you have all this catalog. And so you're telling me that Jay-Z was able to pull off, get his masters back in exchange for one album in exchange for all that catalog that Jay-Z had at that time? Does that even make sense? Nobody even knew. Like, we know who Kanye is right now. They didn't know that Kanye was going to become Kanye. Yes, he had a great first album, but we've seen instances where people drop a hot album, first album, and then they die off after that. So it's no way that Jay-Z, he's a great businessman, but it's no way that he was able to leverage one album to get all of his masters back. So I just think that it's like cool to hop on the negative Jay-Z press right now, right? Pre-NFL deal, right? Jay-Z was like the Black Batman. He was Black Godfather. You know, you hear stories coming out about him helping 21 Savage and his situation with ICE. You heard him paying Lil Wayne's taxes. You heard him helping Lil Uzi Vert. You heard a plethora of artists going to Roc Nation in order to get out of bad situations, in order to get that advice, in order to get those deals that they wouldn't be able to retain elsewhere. And if you look on Roc Nation's website, they actually help their artists retain the rights to their masters. So guys, I think this is just a hop on Jay-Z, negative Jay-Z press. And I think that happened when he did the deal with the NFL, right? Did the deal with the NFL. People did not like it. And now, which I don't know why people are like this, but, you know, cancel culture, right? It's like, we're going to forget everything Jay-Z did before because we don't agree with this one thing he did with the NFL. So anything he does now, we're going to be like, I don't trust Jay-Z. Jay-Z's a snake. Look what he did to Dame Dash. The internet is a very fickle place. Jay-Z lyric, which he got from Dark Knight, but it applies, you know. Die and be a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain. Then he goes on to say, I went from the favorite to the most hated. But would you rather be underpaid or overrated? You know what I mean? So I feel like Jay knew this is coming. He knows the fickleness of a lot of the public, right, when it comes to celebrities. And I applaud him for just being able to not respond a lot, you know, because, you know, I'd be all on Twitter right now, like, saying all the facts, right? You know what I mean? Like, nah, this is not what happened, blah, 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 blah. I would have been going off. But he seems to be able to, you know, let the people think what they want to think. And then he'll come back, drop an album. He'll probably address it then. But guys, come on. This doesn't even make sense, this whole thing. So, tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. Tell me, is Jay-Z a good big brother? Was this just good business? Or was this shady business? Let me know if you agree or disagree with me. I'm open to disagreements. So yeah, like, subscribe, and comment, and let me know what you think of this Jay-Z, Kanye West situation. Thank you guys for listening.